All right, Heritage Hiphop, we got a familiar face. Fellas, introduce yourself again.
Darrell Goza of Goza Creative Script Graphics.
David McLean, also of Goza Script Graphics and Graphic Rhythmic Productions.
Why do you always forget the creative part of Goza Creative? He does the
It's
same
so
thing.
long.
That's what
Like he said, it's too damn long.
Let's get on a marquee though.
Fellas, it's great to see you guys again.
Absolutely.
And right now we're at the ToshoCon in East Orange. And last time we saw you guys at the North Comic Con. How's everything been going?
Oh, it's been fantastic. We've done at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other conventions since then. And we did an Awesome Con and slated at Awesome Con. We ran a panel on black creators and black characters. 500-seat auditorium was packed to the gills, no standing room only, people out and around the door. So now we're looking to do that at New York Con in August.
All right, on August 20th, you can see these gentlemen in Newark at the North Comic Con. But what have you been doing since? Do you have any new books that you'd like to showcase?
Yes, we do. In fact, we have one of our trainees, the student assistant that we were training to do comics, which is part of a program we do with City Without Walls Gallery in Newark. And this is her. And this is her very first book. And she likes anime. So the other thing is we did a wonderful thing. Normally our books were color covers, black and white interior. The beginning of our color line.
Beautiful.
From here on out, all of our books will be in color.
Now, you said from here on out, so that means that you have a lot of books or a movement coming. Can you detail that for us?
Yes, when we first started, we knew that there needed to be a black comic book line. We've always known that there needed to be a black comic book line. Not too many people recognize that we never really had one. We had one that from a company called Annie for about 10 minutes, and then from Milestone for 10 minutes more. And they set the standard though, because the artists from them were working for Marvel and DC. So they set a very high bar. But it allowed us all to sit down and finally sit down and say, what would a black comic book line look like? And by black comic book line, I mean it's really diverse. One where women are represented well. So we have a book where we've represented them very, very well. Okay? We also have one featuring an Inuit Eskimo from Alaska. And we also have one, you won't be able to see the female here, but she's from the future. And she leads a team of mercenaries.
Nice.
Okay, which is also being done by Dave McLean. So what we decided to do is let's actually do a line. Let's do a line that we can do and do it over the next 10 years. So we have a 10-year commitment to do this. We're going to come out with a book a month for the next 10 years. And hopefully, with the people that we're going to associate with, such as Naseed Gifted from PBS Media, and a couple other artists that are out there now that are of like mind, we're hoping to create the line that this world has not really had, where we can actually create content of people of color and females and all of the people that are not getting the real play that they should be getting in books today.
That leads me to a question, because the last time we talked, I asked the brother who does PB Soldier, and I see Gifted, we asked him a question about the voice in the line, but we asked you about the business. So Brother Gifted, can you come in please? I want to ask you a question, and I want to pose this to all three of you guys, and I want to get a very solid answer from three men who know the business. Okay. Now that Black Panther is out, and now everybody now wants to show the attention of a character of color that's been out for years, but it seems like the money is good now. How important is it even more so today to showcase more people of color? Because if it wasn't for Wesley Snipes, this thing wouldn't even have been booming the way it has been in the movies.
Absolutely.
But now that the print is catching up with the movies, how important is it now to showcase your talent and get people to know that we are here and our voices should be heard one at a time?
Well, basically, they did a poll, and he can always attest to this. We were talking about the characters for Marvel next movies and everything. You know, Black Panther was the top of that poll, right? But when we looked at the lineup for Marvel, you know, they moved Black Panther to the last movie. They put out Avengers 1, 2, and 3, and now then they're gonna put Black Panther at the tail end. They gave us a snippet of him in Civil War, and there was an uproar. You know, people resonated with that, and part of it was they saw a part of themselves in the picture, and that looked good for business for the other guys. So now they're shedding light on a lot of the other titles and everything, which is opening up the market for what we are doing.
Right.
Especially on the independent labels, where we have more say-so on how we depict our characters, how we don't have to restart them or reset them every 7 years, as Darrell always tells us, and we can just grow and actually add more characters.
Okay, what do you say?
Well, I would almost reiterate everything Brother Gifted just said.
Right.
My thing right now, though, is that there has always been a desire for a black character line. Always. There always has been. No one's been able to actually make that happen.
Yep.
Right now, because of the changes in the internet and the changes in printing and print technology, now we actually can do this. Now it can actually be done. The thing that gets me is why a lot of the black creators haven't gotten together to do this. So we've been reaching out to them over the last, 4 or 5 years and saying, where's the black line? Where's the black line? And we looked up and said, maybe we have to be the black line. And that's where all of this came from. So we started creating content to match that need. And what we found by coming to shows like this is that people want this. They want this. Like I said, we did awesome, kind of sold out. At the end of our second day, we almost did that product for the next day. And it was like, wow, we really gotta bring the heat. We really gotta bring the heat. And it's not about creating one book. It's about creating an entire line of books. So there's diversity even in that line of black and ethnic characters and women. So that you don't just have one woman, you have a multiplicity of women. So that there's a lot for people to pick from. There's a lot of variety. This is the one thing that most comic book people don't get, is they don't get to have that variety. So we're going to bring that. We're bringing it, and we're bringing it with heat. We're bringing it with heat.
And what do you say?
Not much more to say. They've pretty much said it all. But I will touch on this. There's a time and there's a place. Now's the time. Now's the place. We need to control what we put out there.
Our images.
Now, Marvel and DC, the big guys, they do what they do. But we need to be in control of it. Because they can only go and take it so far because they only know so much. The problem with the industry from the beginning was you have one type of people doing all the products. It's not that easy for anyone who wasn't, of a certain color to get into the business. It's been years, it's been decades, times have changed, things have grown, people have gotten better. Now it's time to step up. Own what we need to own and stop hoping somebody else will do it for us.
We are all in accord on that.
Yes.
I firmly agree. That's why I started Heritage Hiphop, because hip-hop is more than just music. It's about creativity, and we do it for the kids. And our legacy that we leave behind is for the kids. Now, before I leave, I want to showcase one book. Heritage Hiphop calls this book a classic. Anybody looking to buy a graphic novel that is worth the price of admission, and it's something that you could put on a coffee table and something that you can let other people read and get something from, Culprit. Culprit is a classic, just like PB Soldier and the other books that this line has. So look them up on Facebook. Everybody, we're going to say peace and thank you for watching.
Peace.